Welcome to this edition of the SK Newsline Newscast. I'm Andre Huey. St. Kitts and Nevis recorded a fourth COVID-19 death, announced Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hazel Laws on Wednesday evening.
It is with regret that I say that we have one additional COVID-19 related death. On August the 19th, a 59-year-old individual with underlying comorbidities died at home. The case was under police investigation and an autopsy was requested. The individual was COVID-19 positive at the time of death. The final autopsy report received today and released to the Police High Command confirmed that the findings were consistent with COVID-19 disease. This death is therefore classified as a COVID-19 death and brings our total to 4. Please note that the tracing of the contacts of this case is already done. On behalf of the Ministry of Health and the Health Emergency Operating Committee, I extend deepest sympathy to the family.
Andre Huey, SKN Newsline. The U.S.-made Pfizer-BioNTech vaccines were rolled out on St. Kitts and Nevis for the first time, providing the opportunity for children to be vaccinated early in the school year. SK Newsline's Glenn Bart has the details.
After weeks of training, nurses and other health technicians were able to roll out the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine today, 1st September 2021. The vaccine was rolled out at the Newtown Health Center and the Charlestown Health Center. In remarks made recently by the Minister of Health, Akila Byron Nisbet, the Pfizer vaccine is available to everyone.
We are excited to see the number of persons who are interested in being vaccinated with Pfizer vaccines. From day one, when the vaccines arrived, we had already begun receiving calls with persons who were ready to be vaccinated, and so we would have been taking names and contact numbers of these individuals, and then we alerted them that we will have to get back to them to let them know when we will actually begin the rollout of the vaccination process and to call them in for the appointed time to be vaccinated. And so the response that we have been seeing in terms of Pfizer have been extremely encouraging, and we do believe we'll be able to have quite a number of persons with this first batch in particular inoculated with the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. It will be rolled out to all health centers. Just this week, we're going to be here at the Newtown Health Center covering those persons who would have called in ahead of time to be vaccinated, making sure those are covered. And then, as we said, persons can call their nearest health center as well as walk into their nearest health centers to make an appointment. You can't walk in to be vaccinated. You can only walk in to make an appointment to be vaccinated or to call in and make that appointment as well. We are hopeful that by Monday we'll be able to be vaccinated in all of the various health centers throughout the island. So we're asking persons this week, today, tomorrow and Friday, call your nearest health center or walk into the nearest health center to make an appointment.
Just days ago, the Ministry of Health also announced the commencement of the administration of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for children aged 12 to 17. Primary and high school students will return to classrooms on 8th of September, just days after the official rollout. On 12 August, 11,700 doses of the Pfizer vaccine arrived in the Federation, the first of 3 shipments to be received from the U.S. government. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
As the opening of the new school year on Nevis approaches, the Nevis government is urging teachers to vaccinate. More in this report. Troy Liber, Junior Minister of Education in the Nevis Island Administration, has issued an appeal for all teachers who have not yet been vaccinated against COVID-19 to do so with some urgency. Schools across Nevis are scheduled to open on September 6th for the 2021-2022 academic year. According to education officials, teachers and students will return to in-class lessons. Minister Liber thanked those teachers and support staff who made the decision to take the vaccine, a decision, he said, would help to protect their young charges. He was at the time addressing the virtual convocation of the opening of the new school year held at the Nevis Performing Arts Centre, NEPAC, on August 30th.
Come with an open mind and to be willing to work and to work along with the changes that might happen throughout the year. Because we do not know where we are going to be in a few months' time. 3, 4, 5 months ago, we didn't have any active COVID cases here on the island of Nevis. And now the COVID has come to Nevis and we have a case of community spread. We cannot fool ourselves into some sort of false sense of security. We have to understand that people will come into contact with others. Everybody would not follow the protocol to a T. And so the COVID might continue to spread in the community. That is one scenario. And by the grace of God, maybe another scenario could be that we would all follow the protocols and we would get back to the point where we start seeing the ones and the twos and perhaps zeros.
The Education Minister also pointed out that the teachers should be prepared for any eventuality as the COVID-19 situation remains highly fluid. He called on them to be flexible and willing to adapt to any changes that may come throughout the year. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline. When we come back, the 3 movies filmed on Nevis soon to be available worldwide.
Up and away! My goodness! That is amazing! Clean them up. Oh, you little ripper! Oh, can you believe it? Magnificent! That's unbelievable! That is brilliant!
Hey, man, I just can't believe, boy.
Yo, sweet boy, what you really crying for?
Why you see me crying, boy? What me crying? I just see her thinking about that girl. I think she cheating on me, you know.
You lie.
Boy, for real. A couple of weeks ago, right? She come telling me how I'm too sweet. And that I just make she belly roll and I got her thighs rubbing. What is that?
No, man.
But yes. Look, she tell me, right, that we need some time apart. To be honest, I wasn't too concerned about that because you know how the girls and them, they're addicted to me sweetness. But then, I see she the other day. And the girl looking so good, looking so fresh and so lean.
Boy, you sure she addicted to you?
But yes. But wait. Look at her. Come. Hide. Boy, come hide now. Oh, I can't believe, but is that going on? Really? Why you got to say for yourself?
Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody, hey.
If you're looking for a one-stop shop for all your electronics, you only have 2 stores to choose from. Island Electronics on 4th Street, Bastyr, and Smart Electronics at Port Zante. At Island Electronics, you have some of the top brands in electronics, from the top-of-the-line smartphones, Samsung and iPhone, laptop computers, smart TVs, washing machines, small appliances, phone accessories, refrigerators, and so much more. Brands include Whirlpool, Samsung, Black & Decker, HP, and much more. Island Electronics is located in the heart of Bastyr. Make it easy for you to access and shop. You can also choose to shop at Smart Electronics. Get the same great deals and quality products, the widest array in smartphones, including the latest Samsung Z Fold, smart TVs, and simply the best in household appliances like stoves, refrigerators, washing machines, even dishwashers. At Smart Electronics, get products for your leisure, headphones, video games, from Nintendo Switch to PlayStation 5, Bluetooth speakers, and much more. It's so hot these days. Well, at Smart Electronics, you can buy fans or air conditioners. And the brands that Smart Electronics carry are simply the best. JL, Beats, Whirlpool, Amazon, LG, Samsung, HP, Dell, RCA, and many more. You can choose to buy cash or on layaway. So if you're looking for electronic stores with the best deal and quality, Island Electronics and Smart Electronics are your only choices. Choose the store of your convenience. Contact them today. Smart Electronics at 466-4271 or WhatsApp 668-2818 or Island Electronics at 665-8677. Two stores, one great experience.
Welcome back. The Nevis Department of Education is prepping for the reopening of schools. More in this report. The Nevis Department of Education is preparing for the start of the 21-2022 school year on Nevis, which commences on September 6th. However, Ms. Zanella Claxton, Principal Education Officer in the department, told the Department of Information on August 31st that changes regarding the opening of school can be expected.
September 6th is our start date. We will put information out in relation to each school and their specific starting protocols. Some schools will have a rolling start and some schools will start in full on Monday. But in relation to our early childhood centers, we will start in full on September 6th. Our primary schools, as I said, we will put that information out as to who is expected to come out on the 6th and the rolling dates after that. And for our secondary schools, we will also put that information out and share with you and provide an update. But we wanted to ensure that parents are aware that we are ready for our start of the new school year on September 6th, 2021.
Meantime, the Principal Education Officer noted that the department is actively engaging in several activities ahead of the school's reopening, including preparing parents to ensure a better parent-teacher relationship in the interest of the students' educational development.
We know this week, most parents for our pre and primary schools have been called to be part of the Meet the Teacher activity. It is a thrust by the Department of Education to increase parental engagement, to help parents to see where students are currently academically after some form or semblance of learning loss. We also know that it will give our teachers a meter stick, an idea of where our students are currently, so that they can know where to start.
Ms. Claxton stated that the exercise is not expected to bring about perfection and urged parents not to view it as an exam in which students would be graded. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline. The 3 movies filmed on Nevis will soon be available worldwide. The 3 movies filmed on Nevis by MSR Media over the past 7 months have all been sold to distributors and will be soon available on international streaming services. According to a release from the Nevis Island Administration, under a 3-year multi-film production deal with the NIA, UK-based boutique film and television production company MSR Media has shot 1 year off, Assailant, and A Week in Paradise on the island. Premier Mark Brantley, with the responsibility for the industry in the NIA, recently revealed that all of Nevis and the wider federation will soon be able to see familiar faces and locations on their screens. MSR Media producer Mr. Philippe Martinez and crew members traveled to the UK to film scenes from one of the movies there and have recently returned to Nevis with the intention to start filming a 4th successive movie on the island in the coming weeks. The premier said he looks forward to filming of Christmas in the Caribbean and continuing the partnership with MSR Media and the other movie and television companies as the NIA endeavors to build out its film industry. MSR Media has not yet revealed the plot, director, or cast tipped for this latest film. The first 3 movies saw well-known actors such as Connie Nielsen, Poppy Delvinge, Casper Van Dien, and Jeff Fahey descend on Nevis. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline. When we come back, regional news.
Want to buy some fresh fruits, vegetables, or ground provision, but don't have the time to go to the market or even to find parking? Look no further. Green Market and Delivery is your solution. Green Market and Delivery is an e-commerce store that sells and delivers local produce to customers in St. Kitts and Nevis. Anything you purchase, you can get fresh from the market and delivered directly to your door. Log on to www.greenmarketskn.com. Click on the e-store link, choose your items, and shop away. We have a wide array of products from fruits, vegetables, local products, spices and seasonings, and much more. Save time and energy. Shop on greenmarketskn.com, your one-stop shop for fresh local produce.
Are you ready to create high-performing TV commercials?
Ready.
Ready. Ready. Create and tell compelling stories. Reach your target audience. And build brand awareness. Our strategies and execution will provide for your desired outcome and clearly represent your brand. Visit us at www.madebyopen.com and get started on your creative video commercial today. Lights, camera, Open Interactive.
Auto Plus Car Wash, located on the Collins Street Gut, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Bring your car to Auto Plus Car Wash to remove water stains, wiper marks. Get your doors, roof panel cleaned, seat floor mats, buffing, headlights, and engine wash. You get quality service at the best price at Auto Plus Car Wash. They really care for your car. Call 765-5140 or visit them on the Collins Street Gut, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Auto Plus Car Wash, where the service is number one. Welcome back. Now turn our attentions to a look at news across the region. Sections of the Rastafarian community in St. Lucia have welcomed news of the scheduled decriminalization of marijuana possession at the latest sitting of the House of Assembly on Tuesday. However, an opposition MP and former government minister argues that the legislative amendments were too soon and falls short of full cannabis law reform. HTS TV reports.
Tuesday, August 31st, 2021 was a good day for Rastafarian people in St. Lucia. After much talk for years of cannabis reform, the Philip J. Pierre administration is taking bold steps to decriminalize the herb by amending the law to allow 30 grams and below for possession. The bill was down for deliberation at the House of Assembly on Tuesday. Honorable Priest Kailash Leonce has applauded the SLP administration for taking such a move in a short time in office. He called for the Rastafarian community to benefit from eventual future plans for a commercially regulated sector.
The 40 grams of cannabis, yes, it is good, and it will help to actually stop criminalizing the Rastafari people who have been utilizing the herb, and the young people, and also what it affords also is that the people who have been criminalized with records, an opportunity for redress. And then you say, well, when you actually remove that scorn on their name, and then let's say then you actually remove the criminal record, what about those who have actually lost a livelihood and education and all these things? What is actually going to be given back to them? So then what we need as the Rastafari community is that opportunity to actually be able to fully access the international market, the multi-billion-dollar market, whereby we as a people could literally be able to, plant 100 acres of cannabis, process 1,000 pounds every 2 weeks. Extract oils, do edibles, do capsules, do tea bags, and build industries that surround the cannabis. That's the kind of empowerment that we are personally looking at when it comes to the whole aspect of cannabis decriminalization.
The Rastafarian community has long advocated for legalizing the herb for religious use. Rastafarians have suffered under prohibition for over 50 years, as many have been incarcerated for small quantities of cannabis. Former president of the Ionola Council for the Advancement of Rastafari, Aaron Alexander, is thinking beyond just law enforcement and has his eyes trained on enterprise. He suggests incentives for a future cannabis sector where youth can be gainfully employed.
Decriminalization and eventually a fully legalized cannabis industry in St. Lucia that will put at least $50 to $80 million in government coffers and create about 6,000 jobs for our people. Right now, a lot of our young people are out of work, and we know that young people will not go and plant bananas for you right now. So cannabis is the attractive crop that they want to get into. Let us use it as a catalyst to get our young people into agriculture. The average age of a farmer right now is about 55 or 56 years old. So our farming population are aging. We need to get young people into agriculture. We need to mechanize our farms. Our youth will not go and use fork for you and go and plow land with fork. We have to get machinery to do those works. Our youth will be thrilled to be driving tractors to plow the land and all this kind of thing. So we have to mechanize our farms to get agriculture sexy again to attract our youth.
Meanwhile, the cannabis law reforms were actually fleshed out during the reign of the previous UWP government, but they were criticized for a perceived lack of urgency on the matter. Former Commerce and Industry Minister Bradley Felix played an instrumental role in the legislation. He believes the bill should not have stopped at possession, and the new administration should have taken its time to bring about a full-fledged legitimized regime.
In an environment where there's a lot of bureaucracy, and what is happening today is that what is coming to the House is a piece of the whole. And what I have always said was that I would like to bring the entire bill to the House. Because, I mean, let's just look at one factor in this whole cannabis thing. When we talk about 30 grams, where the 30 grams coming from? Somebody has to plant it. You see anything with regards to planting? You see anything with regards to selling? This is a whole package. It's not a piecemeal.
But do you think it's at least one step in the right direction? Low-hanging fruit.
It is definitely what it is, a low-hanging fruit. But at the end of the day, there are going to be consequences if we do not approach it in a holistic manner.
Felix expressed concern about the impact of the decriminalization on the youth. The House of Assembly was also set to debate the amendment to the Criminal Records and Prevention and Misuse Act, which entails expunging the records of those prosecuted and jailed for small amounts of marijuana. Joachim Duplessis, HTS News Force.
No dumping of garbage unless you're vaccinated. That's essentially the new policy of the management of the Hagbosh landfill site in Guyana. Travis Chase of HEP TV News has the details.
Mayor City Council and tell we well, man, when you come up at the dump site, this is where you're going to meet up with.
On Tuesday, the local government ministry instructed that only vaccinated garbage collectors should be allowed to enter the Hagbosh dump site at Eccles on the east bank of Demerara. As such, several unvaccinated garbage collectors and pickers were locked out of the Hagbosh site.
Mr. Rufus was once come at the back and he would sit down and say that we got to take this vaccine, but he never come and say, well, keep a meeting and say, well, man, yeah, it's possible that you got to take this vaccine.
The authorities have claimed that the workers' bosses were informed of the decision that all of their staff must be vaccinated. But the workers have told reporters that they knew nothing of such a decision.
The message that we received before is that the ministry will be visiting the site and vaccinate persons on site, right? So we didn't expect for come this man and say get up. We expect that they will visit the site as we heard.
Several trucks filled with garbage lined the entrance to the site as they were told they cannot enter unless they produce their COVID-19 vaccination cards or a negative PCR test.
They got mostly people, right, that in there that's sick and don't want to disclose the sickness to people. You understand me? And they're forcing me to take this vaccine.
Nightly News was told that the new vaccination mandate seems to be only affecting workers from mostly the private garbage companies. But the pileup of garbage in and around the city is likely to get worse as the workers have vowed to down tools to protest their right to accept or refuse vaccination. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
The World Health Organization opens intelligence hub to prevent future pandemics. More from DW.
A new global hub for pandemic and epidemic intelligence by the World Health Organization was inaugurated today in Berlin by WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus and German Chancellor Angela Merkel. The hub is meant to help researchers, governments, and private partners worldwide work together to predict and respond to pandemics and epidemics. And DW's Benjamin Alvarez-Gruber is following this story for us, joins us for more. Hi, Benjamin, good to see you. Tell us more about the research that this hub is going to be carrying out.
Good afternoon, Sumi. That's right. This hub will connect collaborators worldwide and will also create tools that will help the countries on one side to prevent this pandemic and epidemic threats in the future, to detect them once these outbreaks occur, and then also to respond swiftly to this situation, to this health situation. As the Federal Minister of Health, Jens Spahn, said during this inauguration of this new hub here in Berlin, it will lead to better data, better analytics, and therefore also to better decisions. This could be also seen as a response to the criticism against the international community and also the World Health Organization when it comes to the first response to this crisis. It was said that they responded pretty bad and pretty late to this response. So the idea of this hub is to connect also different institutions. So we have private institutions, we have academic, we have scientists, and we have politicians to be better prepared for these events in the future, and also to give the different countries the tools also to be better prepared for the next epidemics that definitely will come.
And tell us a little bit more about how this hub actually will work to battle, as you said, this current pandemic and prevent future ones.
There are cooperations between this hub, the World Health Organization, the Robert Koch Institute. There is also the Agency for Control of Diseases here in Germany, and also with the Charité Hospital. And the idea of it is to learn from the mistakes from the current pandemic when it comes, for example, to information, to sharing this information, not only with the institutions and with the politicians, but also in general to know what can be done for these future threats. And the Director General of the World Health Organization is here in Berlin. He also met with Lotta Wieler, who is the head of the Robert Koch Institute, and they also agreed to this memorandum of understanding. Angela Merkel, the federal chancellor, who also attended this inauguration, said that this pandemic has shown us that it can only be solved if we work together. And that's what's so important about this hub that will start working later this year. And when we see how the situation was with the information, as the head of the RKI also said that they will try to need to work together, and that is the idea behind this hub that will be created, and that will definitely not be the last one.
DW's Benjamin Alvarez-Gruber, thank you so much.
Health officials in New Zealand say the number of new COVID-19 cases is likely to continue falling. The country has been dealing with its first major outbreak in more than a year during the past 2 weeks. But as Al Jazeera's Wayne Hay reports, the government is now easing restrictions.
The New Zealand government's decision to lock the country down 2 weeks ago was met with shock and even ridicule in some parts of the world. The Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, made the announcement when just one new case of COVID-19 was found in the community, New Zealand's first in 6 months. In that 2-week period, there have been 612 new infections, and the peak of the outbreak may have already passed.
Today, there are 49 new cases of COVID-19 to report. All of these are in Auckland. Obviously, that's a further decline on yesterday's daily case number, 4 fewer, and is our lowest number of cases in 6 days. It does provide a further reassuring indication that our public health measures are rapidly slowing the spread of the virus.
The largest city, Auckland, where the outbreak started, will remain under lockdown for at least another 2 weeks. But for the rest of the country, restrictions will ease slightly, allowing some businesses to reopen under tight rules around mask wearing and contactless service.
This outbreak started with New Zealand's first case of the Delta variant, which has seen big increases in infections and deaths in many countries. To try to prevent that happening here, the government moved quickly into a strict lockdown, which, like last year in the early stages of the pandemic, appears to have worked.
In contrast, lockdown in Australia's worst affected state isn't working. The rules in New South Wales aren't as strict as New Zealand's and vary in different areas of the state. It's recording more than 1,000 new cases a day, and there are concerns the hospitals may not cope.
These patients are some of the sickest we've ever seen. They require so much support and monitoring and physical care. We're in layers of PPE, sometimes for hours at a time. This is really physically hard work.
In both countries, the focus is also on trying to recover from a slow start to vaccinate as many people as possible before the end of the year. To speed up the process, Australia announced an extra 500,000 doses of Pfizer vaccine will arrive this week in a swap deal arranged with Singapore. Australia will reciprocate and send 500,000 doses to Singapore later in the year. New Zealand's government says it may secure a similar deal with another country amid concerns its rapid increase in vaccination rates is dwindling supplies. Wayne Hay, Al Jazeera, Tauranga, New Zealand.
In sports, we have some of the latest results in the Hero Caribbean Premier League. The Ghana Amazon Warriors claimed a stunning super over victory over the Trinbago Knight Riders at the Hero Caribbean Premier League on Wednesday morning at the Warner Park Cricket Stadium. Sunil Narayan bowled the super over for the Knight Riders and conceded just 6 runs. It was left to Romario Shepherd to bowl the Amazon Warriors super over, and he conceded just 4 runs to win the game for his team. Both teams finished on exactly 138 for 9 from their 20 overs, with neither side consistently dominating with the bat. Knight Riders were favourites with 5 overs to go, but some big hits from Nicholas Pooran and Shepherd tied up the game. The Ghana Amazon Warriors 138 for 9, Hetmai on 27, Pooran on 27, defeating the Trinbago Knight Riders by the super over. The Trinbago Knight Riders making 138 for 9, Monroe on 32, and Narayan on 21. Udana also scored 21 runs. Hafiz picked up 3 wickets for 18 for the Warriors, and Shepherd 3 for 24. Rampal picked up 4 wickets for 29 for the Trinbago Knight Riders, and Sunil Narayan 2 for 9. The Jamaica Tallows earned their second victory of the 2021 Hero Caribbean Premier League with a 6-wicket victory over the Barbados Royals on Tuesday at the Warner Park in St. Kitts. The Royals won the toss and opted to bat Azam Khan's fluent 50 off just 30 balls, taking them to 151 for 8. However, the Jamaica Tallows were able to chase the target in 17.4 overs through the sublime batting of Kenmar Lewis. His innings of 89, the highest score of the tournament so far, supported by the graceful play of Sharma Brooks, who hit 47 not out off 26 balls. Jamaica Tallows made 155 for 4, the Royals 151 for 8. The Tallows winning by 6 wickets. In the other matchup on Tuesday, Trinbago Knight Riders defeated the St. Lucia Kings by 27 runs. The Knight Riders had moved up to second temporarily in the tables with a 27-run victory over the Kings. The Kings won the toss and opted to field first, and for the first half of the TKR innings, they had full control of the game. However, a late salvo from Karen Pollard and Tim Serfert helped the Knight Riders to post a challenging total. In reply, Andre Fletcher played a fine lone hand for the Kings, but the team never got going as a disciplined Trinbago bowling attack kept a firm stranglehold on proceedings throughout. The Trinbago Knight Riders made 158 for 7, the St. Lucia Kings 131 for 7, the Knight Riders winning by 27 runs.
You have been watching the SKN Newsline newscast. I'm Andre Huey. From all of us here at SKN Newsline and Channel 95, thank you for watching.